Chloe was a teacher for special needs children when she noticed one of her students behaving unusually one day. A large man began dropping him off and picking him up from school each day, which heightened her suspicions. Eventually, Juan left a letter on her desk, and the contents of the message compelled her to seek help immediately. Good morning, everyone. Chloe Walker greeted her class, using sign language to convey the message since some of her students were deaf. She loved her job, but today, her instincts were on high alert. One of her students, Juan, was acting unusually, and a large, burly man had dropped him off, which struck her as odd. Knowing all of her students had special needs, she was familiar with their mothers and some of their fathers, and to her knowledge, Juan's mother was single. This man must be a new boyfriend, and she felt it was important to assess how he treated Juan. However, she noticed that Juan didn't respond to her greeting and remained quiet for the rest of the day. The man picked him up after school. He was wearing a pulled-up hoodie and a sour expression that raised all of Chloe's alarms. She tried to talk to him before he left with the child. "Sir, I'm sorry we haven't met before. Are you Juan's dad?" she said in the most cheerful tone possible. The man looked up for a second and grumbled, "Yeah, I am. Sorry, I have to go," and he dragged Juan away quickly. Chloe couldn't follow them for now, but she was going to get to the bottom of it. She tried calling Juan's mom, Jennifer, that afternoon, but she didn't answer her phone or her home landline. That was odd. She was an involved mom and never missed a chance to talk to Chloe about Juan's progress. He had some learning disabilities that landed him in her class, but he wasn't stupid. He was pretty smart, and Chloe knew he would tell her if something was wrong at home. But she had to wait. The same man dropped Juan at school the following day and didn't look at Chloe when she tried to smile at him. But she decided to approach the kid before starting her lesson while the rest of the children were still arriving. She leaned down on his desk and made sure he was looking straight at her. "Hey, Juan, you know you can tell me anything, right? Anything about your day, anything about school or your friends, and even stuff about home. I'm here to listen, ok?" Chloe assured the boy with a big, comforting smile. Juan only nodded slightly, and Chloe couldn't do anything else. He had to reach out on his own. It was time to start her class. When the big burly man appeared once again, Juan approached her desk to give her the last assignment of the day. They were supposed to draw anything they wanted, but Juan didn't draw anything. She stared straight at the message he had written in his awkward scrawl. "The man is my father, but he is bad. Help us." Chloe's eyes widened, and when she looked up, Juan and the man were already gone. She knew she had to take action immediately, so she decided she would go to their house and see what was going on. But suddenly, Mark Taylor, a fellow teacher, stopped her. "Hey, Chloe, where are you going? You look worried," he asked her. "Mark, something is going on at one of my students' houses. I have to find out what it is." Chloe answered and tried to leave, but Mark continued. "Are you talking about Juan and that big man? The other teachers noticed him yesterday and were talking about his weird attitude." "Yes, that's exactly it. I have to go." "Are you crazy? That man looks dangerous. At the very least, I'm going with you," Mark insisted and ushered her to his car. "All right, but what are you going to do?" Chloe asked from the passenger seat. "I don't know. We have to play it by ear, but I hope Juan's mother is there too." "Do you know her?" "Yes, she's lovely, and I actually tried calling her all afternoon yesterday. She never answered." "I'm so worried now," she stated, wetting her lips with her tongue. "Don't worry. Just follow my lead," Mark replied confidently, his hand moving the wheel. They reached Juan's home in a lower-income area of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Their apartment was on the 3rd floor, and luckily, anyone could come and go as they pleased, so they both went directly to the door, but Mark spoke up before knocking. "Stay off to the side so no one sees you." "Why?" "I'm going to say I'm a neighbor. Let's just see what happens." "Trust me," Mark added, and Chloe nodded. She moved off to the side, and Mark breathed deeply before knocking. Luckily, the door opened in such a way that Chloe was covered entirely. The big burly man grunted at Mark as a greeting, and her fellow teachers started talking. "Hi, I'm your downstairs neighbor. There's a big leak coming from my bathroom ceiling, and there's nothing wrong on my side. Can we check yours, please?" "There's nothing wrong here." The man grumbled once more and tried to close the door, but Mark insisted. "Please, sir, if it's on your side and we don't catch it soon, It could damage both our apartments. Plumbing would cost thousands of dollars. The teacher continued, and the man finally agreed. "Ach, but let's check it quickly. I haven't noticed anything," he said and gestured for Mark to follow him quickly. That's when Chloe peeked her head slowly inside the apartment but stayed outside. Mark followed the man, looking around furtively. Then he saw Jennifer cowering with Juan in one of the bedrooms. He turned around and signaled for Chloe to call the police. Fortunately, the man didn't see him, and Chloe quickly dialed 911. He pretended to look around the bathroom and spoke up. "I guess it is on my side. I'm sorry to have bothered you with your wife and child," Mark voiced, fishing for some information. "That's my girlfriend, but yeah, whatever. Don't let it happen again." The man grunted once more. "Oh wait, I think I've met her before. Hello, miss. I'm your neighbor." Mark waved from the hallway, and it seemed like Jennifer recognized him from Juan's school. He tried to mouth something, but she didn't get it. Suddenly, they heard the sirens outside, and Mark breathed a sigh of relief. The man looked around and finally noticed Chloe outside. "What's happening? What did you do?" He grunted and almost launched at Chloe, but Mark was right there to block her from him. "Please, calm down. If there's nothing wrong, you won't mind a police search of the house," Mark uttered placatingly. "You!" He yelled and looked back towards the bedroom, seemingly thinking of what to do. But he pushed the teachers aside and started running away in the end. The cops finally reached the third floor, and Mark pointed towards where the man had run off. Another officer went into the house and talked to Juan and his mother. Jennifer exited the room with her kid and looked right at Chloe. "Miss Walker, thank you. Thank you so much," the woman said and hugged the teacher tightly. When they pulled away, Chloe leaned down and looked at Juan. "You did the right thing, kid. You're very smart, and you protected your mom," she complimented the fearful boy, who finally smiled and uttered a small thank you to the teacher. Jennifer revealed that the man was her ex-boyfriend. They had broken up, and she never informed him about her pregnancy. To avoid any encounters, she even moved far away from him. However, he found her, learned about Juan, and began living with them. Unfortunately, he was a terrible man with multiple outstanding warrants against him. When the police finally apprehended him, he faced charges for several robberies, evading arrest, and harassing both Jennifer and Juan. She was able to secure a restraining order against him. Mark assisted her in finding new housing to ensure their safety, and Chloe felt relieved that Juan was safe once again.